Hello, hello, hello. I trust you are well. I trust you're well. I am so excited that we have an opportunity, to engage. And I'm praying that as I will start looking, because I'm going to be looking at I'll be looking at the viewership just to make sure that I have people who are attending today's Q&A. And this is, as you would agree, different from what we usually do. And I'm excited about this new initiative. And I hope that you see that. The thing about a community is you're always looking for, well, I am anyway. I'm always looking for ways to improve you. Those of you who are following me already on the Family Cyber Clinic platform, you know that we're into community. We're always looking for ways to keep you safe, keep your kids safe, primarily. But in doing that, I realized that there were many other people who had things to say, and it seemed painful not to be able to, empower or improve those who are members of this community. And I know some of you had reached out to find out how to do these things, securely, safely, how to get online, how to present your best self, how to use the collaboration tools that are out there. And those of you again who are connected to me would know that I have a Patreon where I do coaching. Well, I would love to do coaching a lot more than I'm doing now. So much so that I will be, making a lot of time for it. And to sort of give the coaching platform or the Patreon a face, I thought, okay, let me bring folks onto, a live Q&A where they will have opportunities to, ask questions about what they're doing online. Because I know that people who into ministry, there are people who have shows, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and all that, and more, that just want to engage an online audience and don't know how. And some have gone gung-ho, they've just reached out to these online portals and just started recording. Now, as much as it's reckless in a way, but it's not an impossible thing to do to get a good result, because ultimately you have a message and you just want to share that message. What I want to do, without judging you, without necessarily making you feel awkward, I am your pal, I'm your friend, and I want the best version of yourself online, and I know how. Okay. Now, if you look from the inception of the Family Cyber Clinic in 2019, if you look at the quality, and this is not a brag show, definitely not, but look at the quality of the production, quality from 2019 August-ish to date, you will see that the quality, video at least, has remained consistent. Audio has improved over time. Okay. Ultimately, what I decided, by God's grace and His grace alone, I never want to give God the least of me. I want to give Him my best. And then wherever I end, He takes over. Okay. I don't want to come in a mediocre way or a very unprepared way and then expect Him to patch me up. It's never been my approach. My approach has always been come and, give your best and let the Lord crown the rest. And that's always been my thing. So I now found what you would call a gap in the community, or if you like, in the market, where people don't want to do that. They just want to go, like I mentioned at the beginning, gung-ho, and expect the same results. Now, in nowhere am I suggesting that if you don't prep up, if you don't do all these things, that God can't do what he wants to do anyway. Of course, it shouldn't be said. It's a given, you know? But my argument is, give him your best. So you come to the table with something, okay? And let him crown it. You're not expecting that your something is so special. It's just that you've come prepared. You're excited that God is going to crown your work. And so give him your best. And so I've reached out to a few folks and I've told them the truth about what they have online. Some ministers who are doing beautiful things online have what I call a very confusing show. By that, I don't mean the structure of the show. I'm talking about the presentation. So this is just about presentation. How can I start a Zoom meeting and make sure that my Zoom meeting is not a distraction, so much so that people are distracted from the content that I'm presenting? And that is the purpose of today's Q&A. We're going to be here for an hour. And believe me, when I say an hour, it's an hour. We'll stay for an hour. And the whole idea is just to introduce this to you folks. Okay? And you will see some things that I'm doing. Like I'm live now, okay? And I'm getting messages on my screen about this space. What do you do? You know, do you allow that to knock you off your do you allow that to knock you off, or do you troubleshoot? And of course, the first thing that I'm going to do is go straight and troubleshoot, because that's what you can do. You can troubleshoot, and that's why I appear distracted, but I got a message, and that message cannot be ignored. Okay? And the whole idea is that you are working on your feet. Okay. Now gonna do another one. Basically, you have your system that gets you live. You know, do a present. Basically, coming up with message telling you that there's something happening locally. I'm recording this message or this show, and I'm also streaming live. Okay, and I'm getting a message that whatever it is I'm doing locally there's a problem. Okay, so what do I do? Do I ignore it? No, I don't ignore it. I attend to it. But you can only do that if you've prepared. I'm sorry I took my eyes off you, but I had to do that. Okay, now in those few minutes, I've managed to calm the storm. Okay, how do you calm storms during your show? Some of us on the platform, and I'll soon come and say hello to you. Actually, you know what? I'll come back to this. Keep that mindset, okay? Where I'm a solopreneur. I'm the one managing this production right now. So anything that happens is up to me to fix. But you can only fix it if you've prepared. Let me finish that. Yeah, it's good that I finished it. Prepare, okay? Some of us have assistants who are doing all the technical thing, and that's okay too. And I have a place there that I can add value, okay, in our coaching sessions. Like I mentioned, for those of you who are just attending, and the numbers are growing, God bless you all. I have a Patreon page where I'm going to be doing these sessions, one-to-many, one-to-one. The whole idea is that we have an opportunity to improve ourselves. I would be your coach. I will be the one hand-holding you through how to get your production to the next stage. Because I know many of you who are attending either have a show, intend to have a show, or you know someone who has a show. You may even have a church who you pray that they can have an online presence, but they don't know how. I'm empowering you so that you can have that discussion with your pastor. That there are many ways to have a decent show, decent, with very minimal tech. Okay? All right, let me just say hi to the people in the comments. Let me see if I can do this. And I'll see, like I said, and I'm purposely doing this. Some of these things I would have prepped already, but you're going to see me manage the show. Okay? So now I have my lovely wife, bless you. Good afternoon, family. She's saying hi to all of you. Say hi back. Yeah, don't say hi to me. Say hi to her. She's so embarrassed right now. Okay, so you can see that I'm minimizing what just came on your screen. I'll put it back on. Can you see? I'm managing it because I don't want it to cover me. You know, I'm putting it there, but I'm managing it. Okay, if I want to put another one, Zachary is saying good afternoon. You can see that he's saying good afternoon there too. Maureen, another super fan of mine, is also saying good afternoon all. And she even gives a comment to add to that. Absolutely, only the best for our God. Hallelujah. Okay, she adds the yay at the end there. Okay, and then we have I've got to bring this, I've got to go closer. Again, I could have made this a lot better by having my iPad and I'll look at the comments there. But that's just tech. That's production. Okay. But I wear glasses so I can see. So I think, I just don't want to get the name wrong, but I'll put the message up here. And talking about messages, it's not everybody on YouTube that's your friend. So I have the opportunity to read the message first before I present it to you. Okay. And I believe it's forgive me first. Everybody on this podium, forgive me for any damage I do to pronouncing your name. But there's a Yinka in there somewhere, and I think it's Kilani Adeyinka. And she says, now I can put it on the screen. She says, give your best and expect him to crown your efforts. There you go. People echoing the same thing. Okay. And then we have Joel, who just simply says, fantastic. See, I love you guys so much. You know, at times I don't know where I get the energy, but I'm so excited that we're able to. And she said it. Well, okay. Just acknowledge whether you're. I'm getting distracted by the comments. Acknowledge whether you are. Oh no, she's a lady. It's okay because I can see a profile, but that could just be the man. You know, showcasing or, you know, celebrating his significant other. But I'm being told I got it right. Okay, there you go. Got it right. I'm adding that to the screen. I got it right. So I am producing this show. I even have, and that's in preparation to host you and to show you what can be done. It's not so much about what I can do because I am a remote producer, okay? I can remotely manage your show. Let's say you had a show that you're doing in the comfort of your own home, okay? What I'm able to do is manage your show from start to finish. So all the production, all the bits that you need to do that you don't want to get to do with tech, you know, your background, how you're looking, the camera, you know, are you flattering, how's your voice and all that. I manage all that, make sure that that's all okay. And you can concentrate on delivering content whilst I manage your show. If you had a guest that you wanted to bring in, I'll bring the guest in. And that could be a guest, like I may demonstrate, if there's anyone bold amongst us to join, because I'm going to put, in fact, I think I had put it in there. Let me put a link in the comments, okay? And this is a Zoom link, okay? Guys, are you listening to me? This is a Zoom link that I'm going to put in the comments. And you can click on that link and join me live. So I can do a call-in show, but I do it even better. Add your video with your audio. And you can come up and ask me a question, engage me. Okay. So if you're bringing in a guest, I will manage that, or you can manage it as a solo producer. You can manage it yourself, but I teach you how. Okay. And I can tell you that this obviously doesn't end today. This is just an hour. So we have another 45 minutes together. This is just an hour of us being together. But the whole idea is that we have a Patreon page where we can do the coaching. And of course, I expect you all to be a part of the family, my patron. So as a member, you will have access to me on a regular basis. Whatever schedule you get to read when you join the patron, okay? One-to-one, one-to-many, and all that. But there will always be a monthly Q&A where we can ask and answer general questions. Okay, let me put the Zoom link. Is it there? I copied it. Let me put it again. Yeah, so there's a Zoom link there. And I suspect that there may be some bold ones amongst us who want to join. And if they have a question, if you have a question, so that I can actually, now that I know that you're many attending, God bless you really, because this is a show of support for what I'm doing. And so the more of you that come, it just makes me so happy. Okay, but with that link in the comments, I can get you into the show. You just have to click that link, join, and when you join, you won't come straight into the show. I can, check you out, and then bring you in. Okay. Now, this is Family Cyber Clinic, and I know that I tried to get it to the YouTube channel that we will mostly be posting content about, productions, online productions, audiences, and all that. Zoom, that's going to be on Securely You Online, but it's part of the Family Cyber Clinic. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, this will be a beautiful time to check that you are subscribed. You just see subscribed under your Zoom, your YouTube thing. If you're not, what have you been doing? Okay. The only way you get to hear about my publications or my uploads is by subscribing. And don't let those people who tell you that when you subscribe, you're paying. You don't pay, it's free. But you support what I'm doing. Okay. So do that if you've not subscribed already. Now, I've posted a link there, and each time I do that, you don't really have those who are really prepped to do that, okay? And I don't know why, but there's so many things we can share. Okay, so I'm Maureen is saying, unfortunately, and that may well be. Let me put it on the screen. That may well be the reason why many are not doing it. Okay, and that's me. I suppose that helps me segue into the next comment, where you should always have your best face on whenever you are engaging online. Okay, because things like this will happen. I can tell you now, and I'm really hoping that this doesn't come across as a brag. I never join a meeting without my full production. I may not be in my studio, but I'll certainly be in a little office area in the house, the main house, where everything is prepped. As I sit down and press Zoom to join or host, everything is set up. And I just think it's the least we can do. Because if you were invited, and this is, Maureen, this is not on you. This is, you are helping me get a message out. So thank you. This is definitely not on you, because I've joined your show and you are really professional. Okay, so it's certainly not about you, but reaping from that comment, preparing yourself to attend an in-person meeting is a no-brainer. You will not go out in your pajamas. You will not go out in, clothes you're not comfortable in. You will go out prepared. Okay? So I'm saying have the same etiquette with online engagements. Okay? don't give the host the excuse that you're not prepared, because that's what we're saying. This particular setup about you coming online, that's different, because if you think about it, if you want to present your best self, then you've got to think of audio, you've got to think of lighting, you've got to think of your assistant who helps you. So there are many things, and maybe you've not involved him or her, and so it will be awkward. So I get that. But I'm talking about people who make up their minds. And believe me, I know this. People who make up their minds, I am definitely not showing my video. And it's not just because it may be they may be recording the meeting. It's mostly because you're not prepared. Okay? So I'm saying that if you have an online ministry, if you're into online engagements, prepare yourself. Let the presentation not be a distraction, okay, to people receiving counsel or the content that you're sharing. All right? So everything I do in the studio, when I'm uploading videos or preparing videos for the Family Cyber Clinic platform, which I use to teach parents how to keep their kids safe online. It's important, really important that I'm all prepped up so that people can listen to what I'm saying. So my audio has to be on point. My video has to be on point. Those are the two things that are non-negotiables. Your audio and your video. You may get away with video, but audio is a big non-negotiable. People they should hear what you're saying and hear it very clearly. Okay? I'm kind of all over the place, but I do want questions. Remember, it's a Q&A after all. What questions do you have? I when in the jingle that I sent out, I said that if you own a Mac, if you own, a Mac computer, it has to be a computer or a laptop. If you own any of those, I have great news for you in terms of how to produce your own show on your own. Now, if you don't have a Mac and you still want to present the best version of yourself, I still have advice. It's just that with the Mac, the advice is a lot more, and I don't want to don't go and spend. No, we start with as little as an iPhone. Okay, so don't stress. Ministries start, from this level and go up. But I'm saying that there's so much. If you want to be a solopreneur, if you just want to solo, produce your show, then the Mac for me is useful. But if you just want to do a show online, and things like that, then I add value to what you are doing. Okay. I've sat through. In fact, I spoke with a sister yesterday, and I mentioned that one of the things that's wrong with, and I think I've had that moan in one of my videos anyway, that we are truly hurting each other when we keep the truth from each other. Imagine you attending a Zoom show, a Zoom meeting. Okay, a friend. Yeah, I don't use those words very readily. But you have somebody who has invited you for a meeting. And the Zoom meeting, I'm sure you've heard of Zoom fatigue. So you attend this Zoom meeting. The Zoom meeting is, when I say so poorly, I have to be. No, I'm not going to be. I don't do politically correct anyway, because I think this is part of the problem. You see a problem and you can't call it, or call it out. And if you can't call it out, you are denying the person the opportunity to get good counsel or correct or good turn and do something better. Basically, you attend a Zoom meeting that is so poor. Audio is poor. You have a picture of the person who is hosting the meeting disappearing because they've decided to enable Zoom features that don't work very well. And so every now and then, if they move, they disappear. And at the end of the meeting, what we tend to do, which is so painful, but true. Oh, what a nice meeting. What a beautiful meeting. Thank you for inviting me. But deep down, you were distracted by all that stuff. Granted, there's some people who could see all that stuff, the jumping, the disappearing videos, and still receive something because they're blinded rightly by all that. They're able to, it's a skill where they can just take that, and they're able to focus on that. Some people do it, but a majority don't. And because of the majority, we've got to make sure that the video and audio is not a distraction. And so the point that I'm trying to make is we must tell people. Don't think oh, what a horrible meeting that was. I was so fatigued and things like that. No, tell the person. That is love. That's my version of love. And I'm so sure that God will have us tell each other the truth. So I was able to tell this sister that the show is beautiful, the content is beautiful, but it can be improved. And that was not me having a dig. That was me wanting the very best for her, because those things are just easy to tweak. Just do this, do that, boom. And your show has the upgrade that I have promised in the description of this video. We can upgrade what we deliver without necessarily being too vain. But we want people, the same way when I started in ministry, I was always told, this whole online thing just happened. It didn't just happen, but it's not been, the whole online hooray is a new thing. In my days when we started ministry, you didn't have that. If you did, you had to spend a lot of money to get yourself online. So whenever you had to minister, your presentation was all in person. So we're told to wear decent clothes, wear a suit, wear a tie, wear a good shoe, but check yourself before you go out so that you don't have things that are out of place. You're looking presentable. The moral of the story, or the advice we used to receive then, was so that you are not a distraction. So I'm saying translate or bring that to your online engagements or your online gig. Make sure that things are not distracting anybody from what you want to deliver. And many of us have a lot to talk about. Beautiful stuff. So I'm saying, I want to improve you. You will spend some money, and it's not going to be, you're not going to be breaking a bank. I'm saying, because of what I am bringing to you, because of what I want to do for you, to encourage me, to support me, to give me the wake up and go and help these folks, I'm saying join my Patreon. And so when you join the Patreon and it's not something you're doing one-off, this is for the long run. You will know when you don't need to be, do we ever get to that place where we don't need more knowledge? But as you are increasing, I'm also increasing and improving myself. So the journey continues. My aim is to make sure that I deliver what I've promised, and that's to upgrade you securely whilst you engage online with your online audience. Okay, so you would, and I don't know whether that's showing in the description, but I'll I'll send the information. I'll send the information in the chat so that you have it and you can be a part of the Patreon. I'm still not seeing any questions, which is not such a bad thing because I have been speaking already and I'm seeing thumbs up and likes. Also, like this video. Some of the things that I'm going to be telling you may not always be just about production. I'm also going to teach you some YouTube tricks, the tricks of the trade, you know, because I don't think you want to be online and not be heard. You want people to hear what you're saying, okay? And I'll teach you how to present content in such a way that people will get to hear. And I'll teach you how to do all those things that you hear people say, oh, your thumbnail, oh, the text has to be catchy. I'm not talking about clickbait, but there are some clickbaity things that you can do, but ultimately just get you to that place where nothing is in the way. People get to hear your content and YouTube will recommend your content based on some of the tips and tricks I'll share with you. And then you go to the next level. I don't know about you, but you never want to be online or, you know, do these things and have a very bad attendance or viewership. It encourages you to know that many people have listened to your stuff. Many people are encouraged by what you're doing and they're supporting you in all ways. And I teach you how to make sure that those things happen by just little tweaks, okay? I said I was going to be quite practical. You can see me, if you look at my my back, all right? You see that there's a black, it's a curtain. That's all it is, okay? If you watch some of the videos that I produce on the Family Cyber Clinic platform, you will not always see the black, okay? You will see something different that will give you the impression that I'm in a different room, okay? If you're just joining, please make sure you click that subscribe button and make sure you like this content. I'm here in this room. It's an office. It's large enough. It's not like a cubicle or some basement. No, it's big enough. But at times, you want to change what's behind you. And especially with folks who are in ministry, you may want the opportunity to have your information show up behind you, you know, ministry, website, address, phone number, slogans, mission, and all that. You may want it behind you. And there are many ways to do it, but do it properly so that it doesn't stand out as an eyesore or a sore thumb. The whole idea is to make sure that you are being heard. And I know you can hear me very clearly because I can hear me. And I say that because I'm monitoring my audio, okay? I can hear what I'm saying. If someone joined the meeting, I can hear what they're saying. You won't have all those echo thing happening because I've prepped the show. I've planned, okay? And that's why I said that if you have a show, I can also remote produce your show for you. If you don't want to get involved with all this tech that I'm talking about, it's too cumbersome for you, it's too noisy, I can, okay, do it all for you. You give me a date, this is what you're doing on the date itself or days before. I make sure you have all the gear, you know, that you have all the right audio equipment, right video equipment, that you're in a room that's well lit. If you don't, compensate with light. I make sure that all that's proper, okay? And if you don't have a tripod and you need a tripod for this event that we're talking about, I make sure that that's with you or you purchase quickly. Ultimately, you're set. And once you've done that, I take care of your meeting. Especially the talking head meetings, you know, the one you sit down and just talk. I will take care of your meeting. I can even go further. If you had a meeting, you know, in a remote location and you want that to be captured on your website or whatever it is, I take care of all that for you too. Okay? So there are lots of things that we can do together, but we have to talk it through, and you get this, all these benefits, the skills, the teachings. If you want to do it on your own, I teach you too, but you've got to be part of the patron. I was talking about the background. If you look at the background, it's black. May not be the best background, so I want to change it. And I have a little trick under my sleeve. One sec. So all I do, see, I'm stretching, I'm making sure that you can see me do this. I'm going to bend down so you will not see me. You probably see the back of my head, or maybe my mic setup. So what you now see is me and a green screen. Okay? You can see that the green screen is well lit. It's not just you know, a green screen with a lot of light here, very dark here. It's well lit. If I bend down, you can see it's well lit. Okay? And when I come back up, now you can hear me clearly because I moved away from the mic. But I can make that change with anything behind me. Okay? So if I had like, just for argument's sake, I had what I will call am I in the same room? I am. And you can see if I didn't tell you, if I started this meeting with this background, yeah, you would 110% say, man, Lawrence's room is so beautiful. You notice what I did there? I was looking here and then I realized I had to be looking at you. You know why I do that? Because I've got to be looking at my, what I call a confidence monitor, because that allows me have eye contact with you. Okay? So if I do this, you would think that I'm looking at you. But all I'm doing is looking at a camera. I'm looking directly at a camera. Okay? It's hard to do when you, because I also have a screen under here, which I'm bending down to look at. So if I look at that there, it's hard to do that. But I've gotten so used to, I've been doing this now for close to 6 years, or maybe 5 years. I now know just to keep my face that way because that's where the camera is. Okay? But back to, and in fact, I can make that even, can I make it better? Yeah, let me do this because I shouldn't really be looking at, let me see if it's showing. No, it's not. Okay. I'll still come back to this story we're talking about, okay? Don't go away. Let's see. I just want to make sure that I'm looking at, because I need to be looking at you, really. You think about it, okay? Okay. Now, I'm looking at you. Now, you notice that for at least for a little while, I will not be looking at this screen because I've done some magic. But ultimately, what I've just done there is remove anything green in my scene and replace it with any picture that I put there. So the picture that I put, which I now have to look at the screen, yeah, I'm producing the show. Let me get on with my work. Okay, so if I want to change it to, let's see, what's this? Got to know what you're showing. Don't just show anything. Let me see. What do I have? I could do this. Okay. And I could make it better by, you know, because if you look, if I'm like this, it doesn't look natural. But imagine if I shift. If I shift, it looks like I'm actually in my office and I can raise my chair. Okay. It looks like I'm in my office. Okay. All I did there was do some things in my production studio to make sure that you are seeing that. So imagine in this office, you had maybe here, you had your logo, or you had, we use this for church. So I can do this and make sure that the church thing is also all set up right so that there's no distraction. You can also see I'm using this ticker. There's a ticker going over down the screen. I can use that for announcements. Okay? All this I will do whilst I'm producing your show. And if there are lower thirds, which is information that you want to share, and it will be, just the bottom right or bottom left side of the screen, I'll make sure that we prepare that before your meeting ends. Or if you want it to be regular, I can make sure that it's also regular. So I'm producing your show and making sure that you don't have to do any of that. Okay? I teach you how to do it if you want to be a solo producer and you don't want me involved. Because getting me involved obviously involves some fee. So if you don't want to and you just want to train yourself to be a solo producer, I can teach you to do that too. And these are not off limits. You must also realize that you can sense, because I mentioned that at times our kids show signs that they want to do these things. I'm changing the background again. Our kids say they want to be content creators, and we say, God forbid, I don't want my kid to be a content creator. It's a thing. The enemy always tries to thwart God's things. And that's my conclusion anyway. It's my sore experience that the things that are good, the enemy tries to counterfeit. The things that are bad for you, he promotes. And so you'll see, I said I'm not bitter, you'll see channels that are talking about things that don't help you in the kingdom, really prospering. And so you don't think, so you can conclude that I'm not really bitter because I know of Christian pursuits or endeavors that are also doing well. Okay, so it's not global or it's not total, but I generally know that there's a lot more exposure. There's more on things that really do nothing for you eternally. And so when you are in this race, you're in for the long run. You're going to have to grind, which is what I'm doing by God's grace, grinding until we can really make the impact I believe God wants us to make. Okay? So you can change backgrounds. And I thought I'll just put that in. And that will show you how. Let me see if there's something else I can put. You can see I'm putting pictures, anything to just improve what's behind you. And I don't really have, and by the way, you can also just have a white wall, okay? That at times can be the minimal approach, or the simplistic is just okay. So don't always think you have to be noisy or loud like those other pictures would suggest, okay? You have a colorful shelf that you can put in. Again, it looks like it's your home. You have bricks. Myself and the perspective have some sort of synergy. And the whole idea there is to make sure that you are presenting the best version of yourself, okay? Now, I'm not disappearing. Can you see? It's not those when you move, then it disappears. The reason why it doesn't disappear, it's a simple video feature or technology called green screen. Green screen. When the name comes, so that I'm not butchering it, but it's green screen, where you're able to take out the green and keep everything else. And that looks so real. It looks like my studio. In fact, my studio is not too far from that. It's just that there's a different wall. It's not so. And I can change if I don't want you to really see the background. I can blur it, and you can see that it even makes me punchy, makes me come out better when you put a background. And I can reduce the background and increase it and all that. I'm doing all that to just show you what I'm able to do for your show. And of course, because I don't have anyone with me, it's hard to be able to demonstrate because I didn't give you guys enough heads up. But imagine if you had a green screen. I can also do what I've just done to myself to your own video remotely. So if you had a green screen, and you don't really have to always purchase these things, you can do DIY and have a green curtain behind you. So you have a green curtain behind you. You do need some light, or if you have a good window, a big window, you can stay behind the window and that lights up the window. It will be certainly better than the Zoom auto feature that you disappear. I'm not disappearing. No matter what I do, I will not disappear. In fact, if I move away, you see the background stays the same way. Okay? If I come back into the picture, it's as if I'm coming into my office. There's no hint of green, of course, apart from the green leaves. All right? So there's so much we can do together. Okay? If you've received value, because obviously I can't see you, I can only hear what you're saying. If you've received value thus far, and you're doing this platform a favor when you tell other people about what does exist, okay? What value you've received that you want. Don't keep it to yourself. I'll be very upset if you keep this information to yourself. As rich as it is, it's designed for you to share. Don't keep it with yourself, or keep it to yourself. Make sure you share this information. I can see Oba says fantastic. Who else has said something? So there's nothing more in the comments. You guys have gone quiet on me. What's up? Yeah, I said 1 hour. We still have 13 minutes. Questions. Okay, questions. So like I said, you can encourage your young ones. And this is so foreign for me because usually I'm teaching you how to keep the kids safe. But now I'm saying keep an eye out for the kids who show interest in these sort of things. Mom, I want to go live. If you're going live on Zoom, I have advice to give you. And we can, explore this information during our monthly Q&As, and even more regular if you become a member. I said I was going to get the Patreon information to you. Let me see if I can fetch it. Hallelujah. Feels like I'm in church. So the jingle that I sent, and most of you who are here would have received it. Okay, I've missed some information. Let's see. So Maureen I'll come back to the Patreon page. Maureen says, very valuable information. Thank you, sis. And they say, okay, so you're quiet because you're concentrating. That's all right too. Okay, so because you're concentrating, and she said I need to scroll low. No, that was Kiliani Adenyinka who said we are concentrating. And Maureen now says we need to scroll lower with a smiley. So there's a joke I'm missing. Anyway, whilst you're explaining the joke, some of us are too old and thick. Yeah. When I shared this information, inviting you guys, I said, do you own a Mac? Do you have a show that's a bit dull that you want to revamp? Do you have an idea that the world needs to hear? Do you feel confident in front of the camera? Have you ever been told you have a radio-worthy voice? Do you rock an iPhone? Do you have a room with great natural light? Do you dream of being a content creator? Do you want to create content but dread the technical side? Do you have an idea to share but feel too shy to start? Do you see potential in your child or children as a future content creator? If you've answered yes, and I'm telling you this also on camera, if you answered yes to any of those questions, then you need to be a part of our Patreon. Okay? And I'm going to put that in the link. Let's see. I'll put that in the link now. Copy. I'll copy again. Okay, so there, if you go to that link, you'll be able to, and I'll put it on the screen too. So that's the link for joining the Patreon. Of course, you can join the Patreon and be a part of the regular. So you have I believe you have a standard and you have a pro. So the people who want to go further, that's one-on-one level, then I will advise that you go for the pro, and we'll be in business. By business, I mean we'll be engaging on a more regular basis. And I'll give you real-time answers to whatever queries or struggles you're having whilst engaging online. So that's important, I'm sure, to many of you. But to those who may not be able to afford, like I said, it's affordable. If you're not able to afford the pro level, then just do the standard. The standard is a cup of coffee. And that's a monthly cup of coffee. But just know that you're supporting what I'm doing and encouraging me to go even further. So the one-on-one coaching, that's obviously a call. You call me and we engage, and I'm able to make sure that you are winning. Okay? All right, so we have 8 minutes left. I'm guessing Maureen would have said, you've just said that. Yeah, scroll lower because they were commenting. Forgive me, sis. Thank you. Okay. Any more questions? Well, you didn't ask any. Any more hollers or, are you promising me that you're going to share this content with people? Share it on your platform, because some of you who are here have a platform. And if I've convinced you, believe me, I can convince the other people who are connected to you. So make sure you share this information with them. Share the Patreon, share the link of the YouTube video that you're a part of. And like I said, if you think about it, you have a show. I will improve your show. So when we engage, I'll tell you to give me a link to some of your videos, shows that you're so proud of. In fact, show me, all I'll be requesting is your best show. Okay? You send me your best show, a clip from your best show. And it's a show that you've hosted and maybe you had a technical assistant and all that, and you just thought it was beautiful. You send the link to me. All I need is maybe an hour. I'll look at it. And of course, if there's nothing wrong with it, I'm not going to tell you something is wrong when there's nothing wrong. I'm looking to improve you securely. So I'll look at all the things, And when I add securely, people think it's just, I'm just adding. No. There are things that can go, pretty bad whilst you're collaborating or trying to get your online audience engaged. There used to be something called Zoom. Basically someone who will just crash your meeting. And that's because you're not following the best practices suggested by the vendors. I teach you how to avoid that. So you present your best version. I do the rest. Make sure all that is not happening. Of course, if you have a waiting room, you have a password, I manage that too. If Zoom is your platform of choice, which I hope it is, Zoom is rocking it. Zoom is definitely rocking it. And I can tell you because I've followed their journey. Okay? And there are other platforms that I can still work with that you may have all your audience on, that I will show you how to bring them in. Ultimately, I'm getting you hooked. It's very clear that there's a production suite that I use, and it's called Ecamm Live. I've been with them for 4 years. ish, maybe more. And usually people don't do behind the scenes and tell you what they're using. Reason why I'm saying it now is because of this. I'm doing this, so I can tell you what I'm using. The production suites that people would convince you are better. Okay, no problem. And two that come to mind will be Wirecast and vMix, and they are absolutely phenomenal. But I'm telling you, and I'm just read my lips, they don't compare. And the reason why I say that is because I've used this application. I know it inside out. You understand? And I know that it delivers. It really delivers. Okay? So that's what I'm using. And if you are a solo producer, I can also get you hooked up with this application for with a discount, so that you can do what I'm doing and even more. You may even, jump me and be even better. So there's a lot of things. And again, that will be in the description. I'll put that information in the description. So please look out at the archive video for that information. So you get a discount to subscribe to Ecamm Live. Okay. Let me just quickly read the last comments that came in. Kiliani says, what would you advise for a complete newbie as basics? Join the Patreon and we can have a one-on-one. One-to-many one-on-one, doesn't matter. The reason why I can't address that, I have an answer for you, but it's not a 3-minute answer. And that's why I'm saying, please, I'll love you to be a part of the Patreon. Use the information in there. But the complete newbie, all you need, in fact, I throw it out there, all you need is a mobile phone, a window, like you have a window in your house, you can sit and face the window, have your iPhone hooked up to some little small tripod, have AirPods, if you have those, or headphones, headset to talk, or you get a microphone. There are many cheap ones in the market, but good enough for recommending or recommendation. That's all. And have content. Okay? That's newbie. And of course, if you want to do it yourself, you can use Zoom. Zoom for free allows you 40 minutes. But if you subscribe to Zoom or you get into Pro, then you pay a token. So I think it's $12, $13, or $14.99 a month. And then you have a platform. But if you want to know more, which is the reason for this live today, then join the Patreon and I'll handhold you through the process. And even we'll test it together. Okay? All right. So that will be the last question. Oba is asking, what is that? I'm guessing you're asking, what is Ecamm Live? I'll put it in the description. I'll put it in the description and you will know from there. Kiliani says she will join the Patreon. I'm saying welcome in advance. I can see us working together and there'll be a lot of value there. But Oba, and Oba and I were connected on the online space. So I'll explain that later. But in the description, you have a link to the Ecamm Live, which is a production suite that allows me to do all this production. And what's even more beautiful is that Zoom is integrated. Fantastic. And I've followed the journey. If anything, I feel responsible for getting them to get Zoom in as one of the punches in a good way, encouraging them to do that. Okay. All right. So guys, it's 1 o'clock. I promised that we'll end at 1. It's been a blast. I love you all for attending this inaugural live Q&A for those who want to improve and securely present themselves to an online audience. I've been your host, Lawrence, and I will be your pal, instructor, and all that when we engage on the Patreon. Okay? So until either the next month's Q&A or the engagements we'll have Patreon, God bless and goodbye.